I'm at a certain location looking for garnets. Just a quick stop by. And I'm digging in this hole. And there's broken garnets in here. You can kind of see it. They're kind of like an octahedral shape. But then once in a while you get a nice whole one with good color. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to be here for a long time, so I gotta get to digging, and I'll probably just show you guys a cleanup video. I apologize for the lighting, but I'm in a hotel room, so I can't do the this is the best it can be. Let's start with this guy. Really cool garnet crystal face. It's a heartbreaker since it's not whole. This guy would have definitely been at least the size of a baseball for sure. This would have been a big garnet. Shame it's not whole, but still very cool. And I've got a plan for this guy. Got somebody in mind who wanted a couple garnet specimens. Up next is let's do this guy. This guy is definitely going to go in my display case once I get home. It's it's got some really good crystal faces, some great color, tiny little crystal there, and as far as I can tell, he's basically whole. There might be a bit of damage on the bottom, but it's hard to tell. So there's a bit of mica schist still at the bottom, but altogether he's basically like most likely like 99% whole. So a very good garnet specimen, great color. Next guy is this guy. This guy does have a bit of damage on the bottom, but it's very minor, and the face is on it, and the structure of the crystal, which I believe you'll call it a skeletal structure, where it's kind of etched. You can see it's stepped and stuff. It's got great structure, and it's a good sized garnet. Very nice one. This one was just kind of lying out on the open, so somebody had collected some, and this one was one of the ones that had been left. So I can only imagine the ones that they took home. Next one is this one. This one's very cool because, so it doesn't want to focus. Might be just the lighting in this room, in the hotel room, but it's a bunch of tiny little garnet crystals, all kind of like stacked up on what seems to be a larger garnet crystal. So it's a little more unique than most of the specimens. And of course there's like this is a large mica schist combination with nice large garnet there and some garnets there and smaller garnets. You can kind of see them. The mica and the garnets are both like darker color minerals. Here's another one. Nice smaller crystals, but really nicely well formed. There is a bit of damage on the back, but altogether pretty cool specimen. Some smaller crystals. Got good shape. Here's a really tiny one, but it's perfect. It's flawless, but it's a perfect little garnet crystal, so that's cool. But yeah, as you can tell, I've got some very interesting ones. I've got some that are mica schist. This one looks like it has at least two. And what I'll do when I get home is I'll soak these in like a water solution. Might add some iron out to some of it as well, just to get some of the iron staying out of these guys. But with the ones that are covered in mica, mica tends to get kind of soft and more malleable and crumbly underwater. So I hope that if I soak these long enough, what I can do is just come in with like a toothpick or like a modified bamboo chopstick and kind of just scrape off the mica schist that is covering some of these specimens. Like you can see this guy. This is a large garnet, but it's still very much covered in mica schist. That's kind of like the golden material there. So I hope when I get home, I'll be able to clean these off and give them a good good cleaning and expose some of them. Now, oh, here's another one before I leave. This one's really interesting because it's a whole specimen, but you can see on the back, actually, there's a bit of damage here. But for most part, this is actually a whole crystal, but it grew on top of another crystal and then popped off. You can actually see, sorry, that's my finger in the way. You can actually see the where the garnet face interfaced with this garnet and where other garnets interfaced. It's very cool. It's a cool little specimen to have. But yeah, I'm quite happy with. I only had like about an hour to collect quickly because I had other things to do. But it worked out really well. I'm quite impressed and quite happy with the specimens I did manage to collect. Got some good garnet specimens, and hopefully, I think I might be able to come back here. Actually, come back to the collecting spot again pretty soon. So let's hope that can happen, because then I can spend hopefully a whole day there and do some serious digging and collecting. But yeah, I'll probably actually show you guys some of the cleanup, because I got a bigger piece actually that's still in the vehicle. That once I get home, I'm gonna soak and try and expose some of the garnets that are in it more, because it definitely does have a bunch of garnets in there. It's just they're very much covered up. Basically, most of them covered up by the biotite still. So I'm gonna try and do that, and I'll probably maybe make a time-lapse video and then show you some of the pieces I've worked on. So I thought I'd show you a better look at some of the really nice pieces that I pulled out. This one's got some really cool kind of skeletal look to it. Like the formation of the garnet crystal there's some imperfect. The formation of this garnet crystal was quote unquote imperfect, so it didn't form like it should, and so you get this really cool stepped look to it. And in this case, this one actually had some really interesting little like sunken in voids on the faces, which is really cool. But overall, it's a very nice piece. It's got some smaller guys on the back, just a little minor damage on the bottom, but you know, standing up, nobody would ever see that, and it would look amazing as a display specimen. Very cool. Now here's got to be one of my favorites. It's got amazing color and crazy faces on it, and even a little guy over here. I still haven't cleaned these guys off. This biotite is a little harder than I thought it would be, even after soaking it in water and stuff. It seems very tightly packed, so I'll have to think of some other ways to clean these off, but this is one of my favorites, along with the first guy that I showed you. But it's got some lovely faces, great color, a lovely dark red color, a Carmine red, I believe it's called. Here's a lovely small specimen. It's a great matrix specimen. It's got 3 lovely garnets with only one that has some minor damage on the back, and it's on top. And there's actually some smaller ones at the bottom here, but it's on top of the biotite mica schist, so it's a nice matrix specimen. And these garnets are very lovely, well-formed, not deformed faces, well-formed faces. So it's a lovely little specimen. You can see that lovely dark red color in those crystals. Very cool. Here's a very interesting one. This one's actually a whole bunch of tiny little garnets all clustered together, all growing on top of each other. Some of it's still covered in the mica schist up top here, so I'm going to try and figure out how to remove that and clean that out nice. But you can see how they've all kind of clustered and grown on each other. So this will be a very cool display specimen once it's properly cleaned. Even though this guy is just a piece of a garnet, and it's only the 3 faces of the garnet that I have here, this is a good indicator of how big these garnets can get. I've seen pictures online of softball-sized garnets from this locale that I collected at. So I'm hoping that I'll have one more chance to go back there and collect again and spend a lot longer time. I only had about an hour to collect this trip, but I'm thankful that I was able to. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to go back there and do like a full day trip and do a full day's worth of collecting and find some very nice big whole ones. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this type of content, like rockhounding content, or if you like arrowhead related content, I also do that, please consider subscribing if you haven't. Also, if you haven't already and you like this video, please drop a like. That helps me a lot. And please leave a comment actually below on which garnet was your favorite one. Thank you guys for watching and supporting me, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, and I will see you guys next time.